Yeah, it was a call.
Wow. Good luck.
I was going to say
Yeater.
that I'm extremely confident that I have no idea what this guy is going to do. And
Yeah, I was just going to say that Yeater is probably expecting Zihao to be far too wide in his opens. That is a queen, but that's also an ace. Yeater still with a gut shot, and also a king would make him two pair. Deuce is no good. Jack or a king for Yeater. The king will make his two pair.
And he's going to find the river that he needs.
King, Queen, O for Zihao Deng. It's like he's just going to open to 12. Pretty standard. He's opening off 24 bigs. Zhang Wang on the button will call. Peng Dang mixing it up with the 9-8 off, and Constantine getting 345 to 1 will come along with Deuce 3 of hearts.
That's a lot to 1.
It's heaps, isn't it?
Saw Constantine make a really light defend multi-way early with the 7-4. Flop top pair versus set and lost 0 chips. This time he's caught bottom pair with a couple of different backdoors to go along with it. He'll be able to navigate his way out of this one scot-free as well. Fives, just the one overcard out there, is going to go ahead and take a stab at this. Makes sense. A bet here folds out a lot of overcards and a lot of equity, and you can get called by some worse hands. Exhibit A, Constantine's 3-2 of hearts. Wow, King Queen's going to go ahead and flick in a call here with just the 2 overcards.
Nothing makes sense anymore. I mean, why wouldn't you? Corey?
Okay. All right. That's
King of Hearts
gonna
makes
do it.
top pair, but it also gives Constantine a flush draw to go along with his pair of deuces. So, facing a reasonable bet, I can't. He won't be. He won't be coming along with this one.
I just don't know, Liam. See, I was floated just a naked 2 overcards versus a bet and a call in a 4-way pot. Found top pair. Up
and
against
just made sure no one can call.
Fives. Yeah, and I mean, the 3-2 suited is a hand that definitely can stick around, and you don't mind it sticking around all that much. But for this price, it's just going to be folding. Yeah, makes his hand, but he's not able to get any value out of it. Well, in saying that, Constantine's not let this one go yet. Saw that really nice fold with the 7-4 against the set that I mentioned just a moment ago, but he's giving this one some thought. I don't know what kind of hands you expect your opponent to be doing this with. Normally I say that when we're trying to work out a hand that could do this that we beat, but I just mean in general. I can't think of a hand that will make this shove value or bluff.
Yeah.
This is over the size of the pot. This is an overbet jam into 2 players. I think we should default to assuming that they are doing this with a good hand, and then try and come up with a reason that might not be the case if we want to make a big call.
He flicks in the call.
Constantine decides to go the other way, and he's going to get shown the bad news here. He's actually quite a significant underdog, just 25% equity. Nowhere near what he needs to be paying an overbet on the turn. And he won't find the river that he's looking for. Ji Hao takes... This will be our last hand before we send our players on a break. Both players with an ace.
Spicy.
Ace 6.
Nut flush draw and
Zhang.
a gut shot for Xiang Wang.
I don't think there's any reason to call this bet. I mean, it's small. That's not a call. That's what, Liam. I mean, I have no words. I've already thrown out all of the sayings. The Wild West poker. We used Fast and Furious more than enough times the other day. We had to come up with new terms for this just moments ago, and they still don't feel like they adequately capture the poker that we are witnessing. This ace on the turn improves both players to top pair. And you know the sickest part about this, Liam, is that the 6 kicker is playing. There's a 2 and a 3 on the board. If this river is a blank, Zhang's ace 5 is not going to be the best hand. Jiao's going to find a way to get max value. Is it the blank river? And it is. This ace 6 is the best hand.
Man,
I can't
what a
believe
crazy,
what I'm
what a
seeing.
crazy time.
Limp call under the gun. Check raise flop with literally nothing and no draw up against a draw that's basically got you dominated. Gut shot, straight draw, plus nut flush draw, plus ace high. And he's managed to find a way to make a value hand that is ahead, get the clean river, and I assume get paid. This bet is small enough that the top pair can very easily just be flicking in the call. I think he's going to make this call, Liam. Yeah, he sticks in the chips. And this is going to be an extremely...
哪有严谨过？我枪口你都不管我，假严谨。
Blinds are 3K, 6K, 6K. We're here for the Red Dragon Prestige High Roller Day 1. This is our feature table headlined by none other than Patrick Antonius.
Corey, I don't know that guy, do you?
Never heard of him in my life.
Certainly haven't watched him for years and years and years and years.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I just wish there was maybe a player on the table that I recognised. Patrick's going to get things started with a race of 13,000 here. That is going to be a defend from the big blind. Xishyang with the Jack 10. Going to outflop Patrick here with the middle pair. Pretty good board to fire a continuation bet on, however. Probably some turn cards that could get this hand to be a little spicier. It's going to start with a pretty standard bet and call. 55,000 in the middle now. That's one of those turn cards I was talking about, Liam.
That's a fairly exciting turn card. Patrick now turning the up and down, turning the flush draw with a gut shot. Pretty strong range advantage too, I would think, but Zhang Lu does have 2 pair.
Yeah,
So
I
it
mean,
won't
it's
be
the
going
board
anywhere.
that the Broadway's just smash, which, as a hijack opener, you are representing a lot of big cards. Jack 10 obviously going to be happy enough to stick around, though. And certainly start getting a little worrying, especially on some rivers, but if you start facing some really large bets, some really big triple barrels, this Jack 10 does basically just become a bluff catcher. 9 of hearts, the Queen 6 will
Corey,
not improve.
we could see Patrick absolutely launch. If there's anyone in the room that could, I believe it may be our friend Patrick. I say friend because I'm forcing my friendship upon him.
Graphics not correct there. Patrick is still thinking about his options here. Contemplating putting in the 3rd bullet. He looks like he's going to fire it, Liam.
Yeah, look, it's a beautiful river for Patrick to continue telling the story.
Wow, and that's a big bet too.
Yeah.
Over the size of the pot. And this is exactly what I was saying a moment ago. There's some rivers, and when you start facing the really big bets, this Jack 10 is just a bluff catcher.
That's a very quick call.
Yeah, strong enough bluff catcher that Xixiang is going to make the call here. And Patrick, we've given him the warmest welcome to this final table, but the dealer has not.
Welcome
That's
to Korea, Patrick.
Pot.
They're all good players in Australia. And 1 or 2 of them are commentators, like half their job for the local stuff. Should be pretty good, I think. I don't know.
All right, we are now on level 13, and we are introducing the shot clock.
Suited connector under the gun for our table chip leader. 5-4 suited. Not much contest so far, but that's going to change when we get to the big blind. Yu Hang's Ace King lying in wait.
Dean and Corey. Shut up, boys.
Bert with the shout out. Appreciate you. $43K is the size. Seems pretty small from out of position. Less than 3x. The 5-4 suited against a 3-bet this small, playing in position. Stacks are really deep. I think we're going to see this tossed into the middle. The chips, that is. Off to a flop we go. Almost 100,000 in there already. And this Ace King is not that far in front. Pretty crazy given that Xixiang's best card is a 5. And what a flop this is. Bottom pair plus gut shot straight flush draw. All of a sudden, Yu Hang's a massive underdog.
It's a very impressive setup. Cool. I put a lot of money into it. Yeah. You got this rail, which is cool. That's something that a lot of local streams don't have that.
C-bet comes out. Is not going to get the desired result here. Yu Hang would love to just take this down immediately. Our table chip leader is going to have other ideas entirely with this massive combo draw. Not to mention he is already ahead with the bottom pair. Question is, does he play this as a call or does he want to bump this up immediately? Even up against something like an overpair, he's still probably actually an equity favorite. 60,000 is the raise. The price is pretty good for Yu Hang, but with just ace high, got to wonder how live we actually are. Of course, the ace of hearts is good for the backdoor nut flush draw. Never going to be drawing dead. But you could be drawing pretty thin, which is the case here. Wow, what is going on here? We see the 3-bet. And spoiler alert, this is not going to be eliciting a fold. Young really contemplating what to do here. Does he want to just jam and run his equity against what really appears to be an overpair, or does he want to call and let a turn peel off? The struggle with this hand is if we call and get the turns that we like, it's hard to get paid from those overpairs. If we call and we miss the turn and we get jammed on, do we even have enough equity to pay 320,000 with one card to come? Sissing decides to just keep it simple. He's going to run his equity. All in announced. And Liu Yuhang with just ace-king, backdoor nut flush draw. At this point, he's done all he can. All that is left is to fold.
Wow.
Okay, I get my revenge. Maybe.
I already warned you.
But you've been hitting.
No bet, no bet.
But not going to find the set that he was looking for with the pocket threes, but he is going to take a stab at this flop. Joseph's often going to be playing a hand containing 2 overcards that is unpaired. But can deny a little bit of equity, sometimes get some value from an ace high. This time he is up against the flopped bottom pair. 7 of spades on the turn. We've got 4 in a row. There is now a lot of ways for bottom pair to not be the best hand. Bert probably going to have a pretty good idea that his threes are not all that good anymore. A lot of the overcard hands will be folding flop. Be a couple that maybe stick around, a couple of ace highs, but they will obviously be getting out of the way on the turn, as well as a number of one pairs. His threes might not be the craziest candidate to turn into a bluff, and Bert's on board with that line of thinking. The second barrel has been fired, and pretty tough for Joseph to stick around with the bottom pair, but he is going to. Got to wonder if that ace of spades is a factor. Backdoor nut flush draw, and, well, it's going to be a factor now. Improves to 2 pair. The question is it strong enough to actually call a third barrel? If Bert's able to muster the third one up. 158,000, 20 big blinds in the middle here. Bert can very credibly rep all of the straights. And he's going to go ahead and try. And that's not a small bet. 105,000, and we see a quick call from Joseph. The 2 pair is good.
Excitement. Will the next one live up to it? Bert, 7-6 suited, under the gun 1. Looks like he clicks it to 5.5. Fairly standard. We get a flat here from Xiao Shuai. And looks like Jun Quang is going to get a little spicy here with the 650 just flatting on the button. However, Song has the Jack in the big blind, and I very much expect a 3-bet here. 3-bets to 32.5. About 6x, which is fairly reasonable in this situation.
I would agree with
the
that.
amount of flat.
Yeah, considering the amount of flats and also how deep everyone is. So, you know, the deeper we are, the generally, the larger our 3-bets can be. It looks like Ace 10-0 might even be calling.
I think, yeah, Xiao Shuai is definitely looking at flatting. So flatted pair.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment has arrived. 158 players began, and we are down to our final table in the Red Dragon Prestige High Roller. 9 players remain, but only one of them will emerge victorious. Let's welcome them to the stage.
各位玩家，万众瞩目的时刻到了，红龙尊龙豪客赛最后的决赛桌正式诞生。从158人次的激烈角逐中，最终剩9位选手站上这个舞台，为冠军而战。让我们用最热烈的掌声欢迎他们登场。首先欢迎1号位，来自中国的郑鹏，手持267万5000积分牌。
In seat number 1 with 2,675,000 chips representing China, Dong Peng. In seat number 2 with 5,550,000 chips representing Estonia, Rano Sudla.
2号位来自爱沙尼亚的 Rano Sudla， 手持555万积分牌。
In seat number 3, your chip leader with 12,625,000 chips, representing China, Luo Xixiang.
3号位来自中国的罗西香，手持1226万5000积分牌，哇！
In seat number 4, with 9,150,000 chips, representing Hungary, Patrick Demush.
4号位来自匈牙利的 Patrick Demush， 手持915万积分牌。
In seat number 5, with 1,600,000 chips, representing China, Wang Zushai.
欢迎5号位，来自中国的王竹斋，手持160万的积分牌。
In seat number 6, with 2.8 million chips, representing Australia, John Edward Perry.
6号位，来自澳大利亚的 John Edward Perry， 手持280万的积分牌。
In seat number 7 with 2,925,000 chips, representing Vietnam, Wen Lei.
7号位来自越南的 Win Lei 手持2925000计分牌。
In seat number 8 with 7,975,000 chips, representing the United States of America, Christian Harder.
8号位来自美国的 Christian Harder 手持7975000计分牌。
And finally, in seat number 9, with 2,100,000 chips, representing China, Xu Song.
来到最后一位第9号位的，来自中国的薛松，手持210万的积分牌。
Ladies and gentlemen, one last time, a massive round of applause for your final table in the Red Dragon Prestige High Roller.
恭喜各位玩家，祝各位好运！Woo! Woo!
Well, what an entrance for our final tablists. Guys, good afternoon. My name is Liam Murray, and I am joined by my very good friend, Mr. Dean Cox. Dean, welcome.
Thank you, Liam.
Mate,
What
an
intro. Fireworks
If
and everything.
we weren't excited for the final table already, yeah, I'm well and truly pumped up.
Is it just me, or like I just really want to play poker now after that? Like I'm like, I want to be there. I'm like, get me there.
Yeah.
I want to fire.
Yeah, that was some very, very motivating.
Theatrical.
Yeah.
Nah, great. Although we are missing what Jordan's saying right now. The dulcet tones.
Probably dribble.
Normally. Yeah, but that's no different to us.
So, Dean, I'm not sure if you would have caught it, but the last hand before final table, we did lose Martin Nielsen, our friend with the aquarium tattoo sleeve, unfortunately, against the chip leader. He had jacks against the chip leader's pocket queens. They played a 100 big blind pot post flop. In total, but it all went in. It all went in post.
It went to flop.
There was a 9 big blind bet on the flop from the queens, and then the flop of 9, 4, 5 rainbow pocket jacks found the jam and was quickly snapped off.
Called. Yeah.
And we were off to a turn and river for a 100 big blind pot, but pretty standard stuff. Just a bit of a cooler for him in the end. We have a few very familiar faces. One of them being our good friend, Mr. Bert Perry.
Yep. We've gotten to see the vast majority of these guys play on the feature table. The only one I haven't really seen play too much yet is probably Christian Harder. Didn't get to see him too much yesterday in my time in the booth. Do you know much about Christian at all?
Do I know much about Christian Harder? He is one of the most winning online poker players in history, and also has a very, very esteemed live poker career as well. So, his Hendon mob, just under 7 million. And he is in the top 150 US all-time money list.
That can't be easy.
His personal best is the 2009 WPT 5 Diamond Classic main event. He came fourth for $570,000 US. So he
Tell
has
me he didn't even
experience.
win.
Yeah, didn't even win, but was good enough for fourth for over $500,000 US.
Should
The
at
one to
least get
watch, though,
third from
Dean,
here then.
Red chips 500.
Tell me.
is Patrick Demus from Hungary.
The Hungarian. Yep.
He is, from all accounts, one of Europe's best elite regs in the last couple of years. So in 2026, he won the EPT Paris main event title.
Yep.
And he's known for his deep stack aggression and very calm demeanor. So I'm looking forward to seeing more from him. And we did see
yesterday with him, with Patrick, a lovely 4-bet bluff with King 8 suited. And yeah, so story checks out.
all of these guys are pretty deep stacked. Like even our shortest stack, I believe, is about 16 bigs. And a super forgiving structure as well with long levels. So I think you and I will probably be in for a bit of a marathon today. I know that Corey and yourself will probably be tagging in and out with a bit of a time zone difference. These guys are expected to go through till, well, about 6 or 7 hours from now, and then we'll continue the coverage into the early morning in Australia. So I think we're going to just see lots of battling.
Excellent. That's what we want to see.
Lots of battling and lots of high-level poker, which you can only get through deep stacks. So very much looking forward to the poker we have in front of us. Patrick does 3-bet the King 10 suited pre-flop, and Peng Dang will call. Get out of the way on King 4 deuce. What do you think about defending the Ace 7, Dean?
Not a
as
fan,
a pre-flop
to be
raiser.
honest.
Yeah.
I fine with the pre-flop raise, but once you get 3-bet, it just plays so poorly post. I think you really want to be waiting until it's more like an Ace 10 where you've just got a lot better post-flop playability
Board
so
coverage.
deep against someone that's... Yeah, and also just against someone that you've just said is super aggressive. But what I did find with Peng Dang yesterday was that he was not afraid to put in calls. There was like raise and he was calling opens on the button with 6-5-0 and stuff like that. So loves to see a flop does Peng.
Right back in the mix for Rano Sutla. Ace King suited for him. And he's opening off about 45 bigs, which is pretty deep in all things considered. Zuhai Wang from the hijack with King Jack off, going to make a disciplined laydown. And Bert Perry letting go of the Ace 5.
Really liked some of the plays that Renault did last night. Wasn't flashy, wasn't any of these sort of crazy hero check raises or anything like that, but was just really solid and really let his more aggressive opponents hang themselves a lot in hands. A lot of triple checks, not going for value, and then end up getting a lot of value from being able to just let his opponents have a bit of rope.
Yeah, extracting value through, extracting the maximum through value rather than encouraging his opponents to fold through bluffs, I guess, which is often probably one of the more successful strategies long term against players that are playing wider ranges and potentially c-betting too much or continuing too much in bloated pots. You just kind of want to set your trap and wait rather than try and get your opponent to fold. You definitely want to be trying to, trap them with a good hand, which is exactly what we've seen here. This ace king suited doesn't connect in any way with 6 9 10. I mean, I don't even know if he's going to call this river bet, even though he has kept the pot extremely small.
Yep.
I mean, he beats clubs.
He does, and he also is going to beat some other missed draws as well. Queen Jack, Jack 8, and the like, even 3-5. But
yeah, I like that fold from Rano.
Seems to have a really good understanding of where he's at in the table as well, and like what he's going to gain by gaining the chips or lose by losing the chips. So next out gets 22.8 million Korean won. It's about 21.8 Australian $1,000 Australian and about 15.5 USD. And we just surge up from there. Right up to the first place prize of 276 million Korean won, which is 264,000 Australian dollars.
It's got to be 250. So,
Nothing like a 7.5K final table, and people don't get the min raise correct. Happens everywhere. Definitely not folding a hand as strong as ace-8 here in the big blind to a min raise. I think Pung's just considering whether this is just a flat or whether he should be 3-betting. But he does decide to just flat, which I do like. Out of the big, closing the action.
clubs are hot. We found the suit, yeah. We found the suit for the table.
Should have folded that 9-5 of clubs, Patrick.
So, how was the green sheep this morning, Liam?
Mate, I'll tell you what, I actually fell asleep like 4 times.
I am not surprised at all.
Taylor was not too impressed. She understood, but yeah. So Dean is referring to my family and I. I have 2 young kids. I have a 2.5-year-old and a 3-month-old, and we head across to the theatre this morning, and we saw a live showing of a children's book called "Where Is the Green Sheep?" And yep, in the theatre, in the darkness, I managed to fall asleep quite a few times after a late finish with the stream and up early with the kids. So, but it was pretty good.
Was it behind the green bush?
Yes, it was. It's quite interesting. This book that we read our child is maybe 12 pages, and they managed to stretch it out to. They managed to stretch it out to a 45-minute show, so it's pretty impressive. We have found Peng Dang with this jam from the small blind. Patrick Dumus from early position. Is he going to be able to call it off for about 13 bigs? Chip leader doing chip leader things. R7's good enough to go to war.
Peng is definitely doing this with worse than 7s. In my opinion.
I tend to agree with you. He's been a bit wider than most other players in the field. But I mean, he's also doing it with better as well. 8s, 9s, and 10s would probably all play like this. Ace King, 100%. Ace Queen, Ace Jack, King Queen. Probably going to be taking it all. And then, of course, maybe even 5s and 6s as well, I would think.
Yep.
So Patrick,
I think he's
has
definitely doing
assessed
some Ace 5s as well. Oh.
Do you think our chip leader might be enjoying his dinner?
I think he's enjoying. Was that rib?
I think so.
I was kind of hoping
it looked good.
It looked like a lamb chop or something like that, but
yeah.
Do you reckon he might be a part of the Red Dragon Poker Tour team?
I think they all got that stuff, right? Like, they all got a hat for getting to the final table. Because that was the same thing with the final table the other night. So they all gained the hat for making it.
Why is no one else wearing it?
I mean, have you seen these guys' hair? You're putting a hat on that? Come on.
Very true.
And you're not going to take off your... I don't know, let's go with a mandarin hat. I think pumpkin's a little... wrong. I think it's more of a mandarin or an orange.
That does look more like a mandarin than an orange, doesn't it?
You're not, and like, you're definitely not going to put a hat on that hair that Peng Dang has. Look at it, phenomenal.
It's very true.
What I am disappointed about is the guy in the suit behind just scrolling on his phone when he's got this intriguing poker in front of him. Do you think he's trying to get his headset in, get the stream on so he can just listen to us dribble instead of...
I think that's probably it. I know that Bert Perry will look forward to reviewing every word that we have to say about the play.
I look forward to his commentary on our commentary, telling us how wrong we were about most of the hands.
Songju in the hijack. Looks like he might be considering his options with 10-8 offsuit, but he is going to let it go. Ramo Sutla on the button with King 5 suited and all of the chips. Looks like he is going to open this
expecting
one.
him to open.
Chip leader in the small blind has found Queen 9-0 and going to let it go.
What does Patrick want to do here? Great table position for Patrick, though, having those two on his right and being able to, with that being the other bigger stacks, and then
If
opening,
they fold, he can really start opening a wide array of hands. Given that the players behind are relatively short.
Yep. And with him having the lead on those, he can even do some 3-bets against their opens depending on his hand and his range, and put a little bit of pressure back on those two stacks that are in sort of second and third.
Dean, I put the SOS out to a few group chats, and we've been joined by a couple of my Australian friends. Shout out to Mr. Matthew Bevan, who has just recently joined the stream.
Won't get him talking. He's just finished a month-long Buddhist retreat.
I did assure him that I had well and truly spoken enough for the both of us in the last month.
He's playing in the water? Yeah, he's in sun.
If you are watching at home,
He was doing
either
wedding
Twitch,
preparation stuff.
YouTube, or Facebook, please give Dean and myself a shout. We are always very happy to see some friendly faces in the chat, even if we've not been familiar with you previously. Dean is always looking for more friends.
Always.
Always. More people to send bad beat hand histories to.
You know that's your thing, not mine, right?
Our viewership has actually just halved
It was a joke, guys. Dean doesn't send bad beat histories. He puts the bad beats
Outrageous.
on. So
Exactly. It's hard to, get bad beats when you just always have it,
Dean sometimes bluffs when he has 2 kings in his hand.
I pretend to have aces. I'm like, what would I do with aces here?
I'd raise for sure. Ace 8 off in the hijack for Rano. Terrence in the YouTube chat. Sorry, in the Twitch chat. Dean hasn't run a bluff since 2011.
You know who Terrence is, don't you? Liam?
Is it the Terrence or is it a different name?
It has nothing to do with Terrence W. It's not their name at all.
Is it Sam?
It is.
It could only be Sam. The last time Dean ran a bluff, you could see his chin. That is some time ago.
It was about the same time that last time Sam won a flip as well, to be honest.
Sam and I do have a lot in common.
He just doesn't do it on 5K bubbles.
Yeah. PTSD.
You love me reminding you about that every time we stream together, hey?
Yeah, it's very enjoyable.
Cathartic.
Remember when that guy just wailed off completely? And
That wasn't that big a wave.
posted. Yes, it was. Stop it.
It wasn't.
Okay, whatever.
725.
I like. What was that talking about Jackson? Who was the player in the hand? You trying to ask ChatGPT if Jackson's a whale or not?
No. ChatGPT generally asks me not to ask repetitive questions.
And it keeps going, I do not believe he is a blue whale. He is a human.
He is a white whale.
He is your white whale. Gets you every time. Sam,
He's definitely
up top
he's
is...
definitely my kryptonite.
Yeah, up top is 276 million Korean won, which is about 264,000 Australian dollars.
Or Trav's monthly rakeback.
Yeah. It was a 7.5k Australian buy-in for this one. Beautiful long, hour-long levels. We'll see how long we can keep Liam awake for.
You laugh, mate, but I've just had a 2-hour nap, so I am ready to go until at least 9 p.m.
I was about to say 2-hour nap. You're ready to go for 2 hours, and then you need to have you wind up again.
Then a little recharge.
Yeah.
Whack myself on the fast charger.
Yeah, you're one of those chargers though that like you need 2 hours of charge to charge for 2 hours. You know, like it's not.
Bert
It's
Perry
not very resourceful.
doesn't need anything. He's already found the 2 kings on the button.
With 24 bigs. Expecting him to click it up here. Win has absolutely... Both blinds have absolutely nothing, unfortunately, for Bert.
Natural 8.
You're natural 9 now. I put you on 5.
Unconventional way for Christian to call by turning his cards up and throwing them into the middle. Pot after pot for Bert.
Going through.
Hand after hand too.
There's some runs on the board. Team USA.
Just so you know, Liam, in the Twitch chat,
Yeah.
Volatile Cartel wanted to let us know where the best viewers were we could buy. If we wanted to go viewers11.online, we
You're
can
meant
actually
to
buy some
ignore
more
those.
viewers to help us out.
You're meant to ignore those comments, Dean. You're not meant to read them out.
You know me, I don't do the conventional.
You certainly
Kinda like your
don't.
bluffs.
I did a big old bluff last night. I was very proud of myself. And then I realized what I'd done, and I was praying for a fold.
Did you get it?
Yeah, I got it through. I left myself with 5 bigs on the river with Queen High against TJ Hibberts. So
I've always wanted to, like,
very, very nervous.
northeast.
I live in Baltimore, Maryland. Have you ever seen The Wire?
Yeah, I love the Wire.
That's basically where I live, you know?
You live there.
Felt like a genius though, as you do when bluffs get through.
Really? Close by.
Did you show it?
Nah, I should have.
That's a great show.
Well, I created
Rano
a
with
fake
ace
hand.
king.
A fake hand in my head with telling him I had top pair with my top card. So I had king queen on king 6, 10. Anyway, doesn't matter. Oh, this is a spot.
This is not
Bert Perry
good.
with queens in the cutoff, facing an open from Rano and a call from Zuhai in the hijack. A huge amount of incentive for Bert to increase the action here.
What are we expecting? Around 800, 850?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what Bert has gone with. It's about 900,000.
900, yeah. 3x and a bit because of the extra caller. And
this is going to go all in, fold, and Bert is going to not love it, but he will be calling. He knows that Rano will be putting in the ace king, jacks and tens as well.
do you think that Rano puts in anything wider than that as well? Is there any other like king sevens, ace fives that he might elect to go with the 4-bet with leading both of these? It's just pure
No, I don't think so.
top
Just
range.
because Bert is, you know, he knows that he's squeezing against. Anyway, let's leave it
Queen
to
of
the
clubs.
dealer.
Let's go.
And Jordan. Queen of clubs for our boy would be great.
What do you guys call this? Lady Gaga, right?
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
Ten of diamonds, 3 of spades.
Clean.
Spades.
Come on, deuce of spades.
Dean, don't say anything.
The turn card. It's the 6 of clubs.
Deuce.
The river is the 5 of spades.
Let's go.
There we go.
Bert.
Queens will
Big.
double up. We remove
Big.
Big
Pop.
double for Birdie Beetle. 6.2 million for him now.
That's very lucky.
But there's a couple of the players that whenever they got queens, they all like slammed it down on the table and went, Lady Gaga.
It is a very, very common queens.
在罗印，那哥们等了半天了，就等我们这边有人，要不然他没话讲了。等了半天，终于有人罗印了。
Of course.
有麦克风，你随便说，
How can I bluff?
脱口秀都可以。
No, you
是
can
不
bluff.
是？我说那个刚才姐说那个，
我最喜欢听脱口秀。
Dana, it has come to my attention that we
Actually bought purchase viewers from Volatile Cartel.
know we have many Australian viewers in our stream. One of them being Miss Elizabeth Kelly, but Perry's mama.
Excellent. I'm glad we could watch him win that flip in that spot with you.
King 8 suited and Ace King O. Not much to be done for the Ace King O here, out of position. Patrick, of course, at the portion of his range where he won't be calling. But it's going to take a little bit of time and save a bit of face.
Lady Gaga?
Confetti。
Sticky cards, everyone's nervous. All this sweat on the cards. Except you, right, Christian? You're just folding.
Yeah, no nerves. Just let it go. I'll let you guys figure it out.
Bert's looking healthy now after that double. Opens the King Jack from under the gun 3. Gets 3 bet by Sung Shui. And let's go.
Wait, redshift, yeah? 4?
Yeah. How many do you have, bro?
Those are big, and I'm borderline blind.
I'm blind as well. I have the same issue. Too many hours looking at screens. Not enough time outside.
But I don't have glasses.
You don't have glasses. You're stubborn. Why don't you just get like laser eye surgery or something?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that blind.
Ah, right.
It's like I should have glasses. I know you're not wearing them every day, but like,
Yep. When you need them.
yeah, wear them in certain situations.
I've worn glasses since I was 16. So.
Yeah, I've never worn glasses that day in my life. I had them like briefly, and I didn't really even wear them.
I can't get the laser eye surgery or I would, unfortunately.
You have some like, what is it?
It's a
Very
two
snug
conditional
fold of
one
the
with short
sixes there.
um, which is what you can get
Very
LASIK
good.
for or whatever. But the other one's called keratoconus, so the shape of my eye is slightly bulged. And so I've got an astigmatism that's permanent, but basically there's no point in getting laser eye surgery.
Bert Perry with some chirp and chips. Wasn't saying much before, but got plenty to say now.
Yeah, about the bulge in his eye.
But it's mild enough that my glasses, I get pretty decent performance out of my eyes, so my life's okay. Like, it's not too bad. Still drive and
My life's okay.
watch movies and stuff.
I think your life is pretty damn good, but
If it was much
pretty
worse,
damn good.
options, like you can
You
get
got your
Well,
mum
he's
in here
pretty-
supporting you.
corneal transplant. where they
You're winning
take
flips.
Cadavers, corneal, yeah.
You know?
And then there's this other thing where they
The story of Bert's career winning flips.
squirt peptides into your eyes called cross-linking.
Look,
So
it
it's
goes a
course.
long way.
Of course, that is
quite painful.
absolutely not true, and
it just
he will
slows
bash
the
me for
degradation
saying
and
it.
reverse it, so there's also no point for me.
He has let me know that previously that he has like at Southport Sharks has a career hourly of like negative $95 or something like that.
Seems like it's improved since last time I heard.
So Sam has confirmed that one of the things that he has in common with Bert is that he also has misshapen eyes, but unlike Bert, he doesn't have the ability to play poker well. Probably also goes with the fact that he has adult autism, but it's actually true.
Does he have the-
I'm not even
Does
like
he have the good? Does he have the good kind?
no, not at all. Nothing about Sam is the good kind. Ask him about his dates. It's never the good kind.
Sam, did you have it before autism was cool?
I think he just got diagnosed with it at a late stage. I think he just likes using it in arguments when he's losing. Do you know what Sam was before it was cool? He was a dick before it was cool. Just straight up, just always been that grump.
Dean, tell everyone the story of how you met your wife, because I've always been wondering.
Where did that come from?
Well, you seem to have a lot to talk about. You seem to have a lot to say about Sam's lack of partner. So
Sam's had many partners.
Yeah, I know, but right now he's looking for the next bachelorette.
I don't know, Sam. Oh, actually, I should know. Next time I'm at a pub, he'll probably tell me that he's with someone, and then the next time I ask him about him, he'll cry because I realized I put my foot in it and they broke up.
See, this is what I mean. The needles are endless with you.
Yeah, but they're not just at Sam, and you know that. You're just lucky that Sam's here, because it means you don't.
I don't know if Sam is lucky that he's here.
Sam, no one's lucky Sam's here, except for you.
Sam, I'm a big fan. Don't worry about Dean. You can be my best mate instead.
Don't worry.
Pocket
all
Seven's
the other
going to raise it
players
up
say
from
that
early
about Sam as
position.
well.
Big blind. Not going to be able to defend the deuce 3.
That is one exchange I do not want to be involved in. You guys talking bad beats.
A few more viewers joining us through YouTube and Twitch now. If you're in the chat, guys, give us a yell. It's always nice to read some familiar names. However, we'll also have a chat, even if we've not met you, except if you are Volatile Cartel on Twitch, who seems to be a spammer.
Win with the aces. Good players, good cards. It's a volatile mix.
Mandarin Man with the American Airlines. And he just has an app.
Sam's giving you some ammunition that you're not even looking at. You guys can talk bad beats. You can talk about the hands that you lose, and he can talk about the time he met me, and that was the worst bad beat he ever got in his life.
Dean's worst bad beat was being introduced to my staking chat.
It was not great. It was for a little while. It suckered me in. I'm just glad you don't play much anymore.
The long con. Andrew Peng joining us. Thank you very much, mate. My name is Liam Murray. I believe we had the pleasure of meeting at the Melbourne APT most recently. And I'm joined by my friend Dean Cox from Western Australia. You may have seen Dean floating around at the APL Million, often wearing a baseball cap and a Ned Kelly beard.
We would have been at one of those State of Origins together, wouldn't we have, Liam? You've been in the State of Origin squads, haven't you?
I think you may know the answer to that, and the answer is no.
That's outrageous.
Western Australia has 5 poker players, so you're very lucky to be the 5th.
And I was a ring-in. Someone pulled out, and I still got pulled in. It wasn't even... there's 5 poker players, and I was the 6th.
Dean, we've just had a question in the YouTube comments. What's the buy-in and payouts in Australian dollars or US? Do you have those on hand?
I have those on hand. So buy-in was 7.5k Australian. Ninth is 21.8 Australian. 8th 26.3. 7th 32.9. Sixth, 42.7. Fifth, 57.6. Fourth, 80.2. Third, we hit the six-figure mark with 115. Second, $172,000. And first, $164,000 Australian.
Dean, are you able to just pop them in our WhatsApp
I
chat?
will. I already have. I put it in our
you?
messenger chat. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just don't pay attention, mate.
No, I do. I know
You're
that they're in
sleeping at the
Messenger,
time.
but Sam, if you're still out there, I'm sending you my strength.
What does Sam need your strength for?
To put up with you. Guys, for those of you wondering about the payouts, I'm just going to quickly chuck them in
I'll put it
in
in there for you.
WhatsApp. Sorry, in the YouTube and Twitch chats. I don't know if I have the ability to pin them, but I'll do my best.
Nah, we don't, unfortunately.
Wow.
Got an all-in and a call. Pocket sixes against pocket fours. Pocket fours at risk. I'm going to need to find a 4.
Three diamonds, 8 of hearts, king of spades, no help for the fours. Return card is the deuce of clubs. It's like a straight draw.
Now turn is a 5 also.
Is another 3, and we will lose our first player in 9th position.
GG to Zuhai Wang. It's going to bow out in 9th place. Good for about 22,000 Australian dollars. Next out will be just over 26. And then 7th will be just under 33. So as we lose players, those pay jumps will start to get bigger and bigger. Sisu in the Twitch chat. Good afternoon, my friend. Thank you for joining us. I'm not familiar with your username, but we can be friends all the same. I am
We have
familiar
had 5
with
bet bluff.
5 bet bluff. The only bloke who has 5 bet ranges that don't include kings and aces. He likes to just call with those, see a safe flop. Much prefers the Queen Jack O, Jack 10 O, pocket threes, those kinds of things as 5 bet jams. Because when you know other people are just playing the ace king suiteds and aces and kings, Troy knows that there's more 3s and 4s coming. Shane, thank you for joining us, man. Looking forward to seeing you on the Jeju streams in future. I'm going to organise a Jetstar flight across to Korea for the RDPT tour in July. Dean, how good would it be if I just got like 15 or 20 Aussie regs and just shipped them across and just decimated the prize pool?
Would love it.
Ace Queen suited for Christian Harder in the big blind. I can see a squeeze incoming. Peng Dang opens early with Ace Jack O, and Patrick calls from the cutoff. Squeeze to about 950, I think. Peng Deng in a rock and a hard place between two of the chip leaders. Of course, Ace Jacko, definitely a hand you want to be opening. However, facing this kind of aggression, you're going to struggle to continue.
Do you think that there's ever a 4-bet here from Peng?
I don't think so, man. I just think Ace Jack is just one of those hands. Like, what do we want him to have? We want him to have, like, Ace 10? We want him to have, like, pocket 10 specifically and then be flipping? Like, I just can't see it happening.
Fair.
Patrick going to get out of the way very quickly as well. Nice hand from Christian, as we can expect.
You need to correct it. You will break after that. You will break after that. Next level. Level 25. After.
One time. My daughter's not gonna make it.
减了2手，是告诉你减了2手，因为少了个人。我猜的，他确实是这样做了，09变07。
I think these guys might be pretty close to a break, Dean.
I do believe so.
应该不会减，因为他要按1个小时算，按1个小时2分钟1手。有可能打30手。
Win now with the aces on the button. What is Harder doing here with absolute piles?
If you're just joining us, guys, my name, of course, Liam Murray, professional poker player from Brisbane, and Dean Cox, another professional from Western Australia. We will be joining you for the remainder of the series with our good friend, Mr. Corey Van Jaarsveld. Corey will be joining us sporadically throughout the rest of the evening.
Isn't this the dream when you got aces on the button?
Yeah, and you're only off, what, 20?
22, 23.
It's pretty...
Goes for the all-in.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
I don't mind it with aces more than with kings, because I think that he's less likely to have some weak ace X when you have aces. And you're thinking he's more likely to have value that's going to call off.
Yeah, but
whereas with
aces,
kings, he's more likely to be doing some weak ace X stuff.
Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from, but I mean, with aces, we just have so much of the value that we don't really need to be closing it out. If, for example, Christian had pocket eights, he won't be stacking off against that. If he's got tens or jacks, he probably will be. Pocket nines, probably not. Yeah, I just don't think we need as much protection as jamming 23 bigs provides. Particularly with aces. I can definitely see it with jacks and queens and even kings. But yeah. Anyway, moving on. Uncontested chips are always the best kind, regardless.
Do you think the break is going to be at the end of this level, which is in 6 hands?
I would think so. That would make a lot of sense because I think we're about 2 hours between breaks. So 2 full levels and then a 15-minute break.
Now, they've been doing a little bit differently with this, right? So I think most of the final tables have just been a count of hands per level rather than time. Is that right? Because I think that's what that number is below the field number. That 6 with the tree is like
I would agree.
Left.
Yep.
So it's I don't know how many hands we're doing for a level in this high roll. It's definitely going to be a lot more than some of those turbo ones we saw where it was the blinds were going up very quickly on the final table every 7 hands or so. I know it's a lot more than that.
Queen 10 suited in the cutoff. It's about 30 bigs or so now, so he does have a little bit more playability than that previous hand where he had the aces. King 6 suited in the big blind, getting a very good price. It's going to come along, but will need to proceed with caution. Most of his opponents backdoor flush draw for Peng Dang with his pair. Gut shot for Win Lee Win. And Patrick
and a backdoor
DeMoss,
flush draw.
Yeah, Patrick DeMoss with just a lowly pair of 9s.
Ooh.
That is a spicy turn card. King 6 now makes trips. Queen 10 of spades now has a royal flush draw. Same gut shot as well.
Lucky for Win, the 9 of spades is removed, because if this was to go check again and then the 9 of spades was to peel.
You mean if Patrick had 9 of hearts, 9 of clubs? I agree. It would be very, very dangerous. I like this lead from Win on the turn. He, of course, if he did have a king, would be checking most kings on the flop multi-way. So he can definitely start representing these. Peng Dang in a raised pot. His 6 kicker will be a concern, but he's quite short. So I wouldn't hate a jam from him, given that there is now a flush draw on board as well. Try and deny as much equity as you can against the flush draws.
Even if he was to take it down, it would be a sizable pot for him.
Agree. It would be essentially a double if he was to get this through. Yeah, he's gonna essentially raise non-all in.
Essentially, yeah. Got to keep some chips to shuffle, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
What else are you going to do with your hands? Patrick has a nice easy decision here. Oof. Did not know we had that many spades locked out already. Thinks he has somewhere in the vicinity of 10 outs. Actually only has 5. That changes the story a lot, doesn't it, Liam?
It does. This is the problem with bloated pots without made hands. You just kind of get yourself into a situation where, I mean, I can definitely get behind the bet, but you have to have the discipline to give it away.
People definitely don't. A lot of the time.
No.
They see a flush draw, a royal draw. They want to see it to the end. They want to hit that royal, you know?
I'm a big believer in they always have it. I find that most people want you to believe they have bluffs, but there are just not as many bluffs as there probably should be.
Except for you, right, Liam? You've got a few too many.
I used to. I've really tried to control the demon a lot. I am a reformed passive nit, so that is the worst variant of a poker player. If you're going to be passive, you don't want to be tight as well. So for me, I had to relearn how to play, and it took a little while. But
Ace King O under the gun 2 and win 3 bets to 700,000. There goes a king.
大家不用等那个时间来那个做大门，这个挺好，对，效率明显提升。
Don't do... Yeah, I don't see Bert doing anything other than 4-betting, and it is just a 4-bet all-in. And you don't often 3-bet to fold this
all-in
hand.
call, big pot.
Big pot. Alright, this time we want to see some high cards.
Bert was
all in and at risk against ace king offsuit.
Sam, I'll come back to that very shortly.
Oof. Hello.
10 of spades.
That is not the worst flop when you whiff as Bert Perry.
The turn.
King of diamonds.
10 of diamonds.
31% for Bert.
遥遥落后。
The river.
Do we get a pretty river for him? We do not. Sam's apparently a David Spade fan.
所以说你是住上海是吧？没有啊。
Sam, just very quickly,
杭州也行。
I honestly think that is probably a function of me
就你会中文了，你帮我作证啊。差我一栋房子。
Dean, would you agree that I'm probably more patient than most people?
我占5%，昨天。
你占%可以。
Like I'm happy to fold down to not enough chips quite often.
No. But that's because I know Lachlan Crilly is definitely more patient than Newer. The guy's the most patient person out there. He'll be able to fold down a 4 bigs. He just sits in that 8 big stage all day.
Yeah.
But yes, more than most.
Yeah, I just
Also-
I think Sam that I'm, you know, I'm not going to. What's the best way to say it? I'm not just going to jam 7 or 8 bigs for the sake of it. Yeah, I don't know.
Also, what
You're asking-
Liam's trying to say, Sam, is he has a real bad case of monsters under the bed. He just always assumes that someone has a better hand than him. It's
That's
why
not true.
he's such a nit these days, and why he believes that everyone just always has it. Because in his head, they've just always got the better hand.
No, that is
He
because
actually-
I'm.
It's because for the last 4 years in poker, I have just called every jam so people don't bluff me anymore.
Unreal that Mana will win.
That is the honest truth.
Maybe.
We have to win them though.
I actually heard that thing from Taylor that, you know how most kids call their parents into the room and go, "Hey, Dad, there's a scary monster in my room," and they go and look. It's actually Liam at the poker table. He's like, Nash, come here. There's monsters under the table, under all the cards. Everyone's got a better hand than me. And then Nash has to calm him down and goes, "No, Dad, it's fine. You've got them. You can beat them."
With friends like you, huh?
I would like to point out that I still made it
Exactly.
so that Nash was very supportive of you during this story. He still believes in you.
Yeah, even if you don't.
Yeah.
Had tumbleweeds in the staking chat for about 26 minutes the last few times I've offered, so
Nah, I'm quicker than 26 minutes. I'm one of the quick ones. Jack of Clubs for life must be Mr. Alex Marbeck. That is his card. Could be no one else. Absolutely no one else.
a few more of you joining us in the Twitch and YouTube channels. If you're out there, give us a yell. My name, of course, Liam Murray, and I'm joined by my good friend Dean Cox from WA, myself, Brisbane.
And Corey, who will be in a little bit, floats between the two.
He really does. Still 8 remaining in our Prestige High Roller. Just to run through those payouts. First place in AUD, 264,000. Second, 172. Third, 115.5. Fourth, 80,000. Fifth, 57.5. Sixth, 42.8. And seventh, just under 33. Eighth place, which is our next payout, is 26,340. A gigantic field at the Red Dragon Poker Tour this series. 158 of these guys in the 7.5K AUD high roller. Still plenty of
So
high
Win
rollers to come as well.
Win opens the Queen Jack O under the gun 2. Peng Dong flats the button with Jack 10 O. And Shi Shuang calls from big blind. We then goes check, check. Peng leads his up and down and backdoor flush draw. Shi Shuang flats. And Win then check raises. And both players come along. This is, like Liam likes to call it, a bloated pot of 3.7 million. Well over 25 bigs. And that is a very interesting turn card for both players, with both holding a high club. Queen 7 actually did fold, and that would have been an even spicier turn had they stayed around. Now, do you think that Peng tries to take the lead here when being checked too, or do you think he tries to realize his equity with the up and down and the jack-eye flush draw here, Liam?
It's a tough spot, right? He's there's merit behind both, but you don't want to bet, and I mean he's in trouble here. He's going to at least call a river bet. I think he will probably struggle to be all in, given how much action there was on the flop.
Even though he's only got a SPR of 0.6.
Yeah,
Not
but
even,
I mean,
maybe even less.
What do we expect? What do we expect our opponent to have? Like our opponent will often have a big club when they 3-bet the flop like they did.
I think he bet 950 there, or was it less? 550. I'm assuming, like you said, he's probably just going to call this quickly and.
Peng can't do anything else other than call. Yeah.
And there's a bit of disgust in that face when you hold the queen, when you hold the jack of clubs. The jack of clubs kills another person, Alex. Well, not quite kills, but makes him down to 13 bigs.
I think if coin win had gone larger, he might have actually given Peng the incentive to fold. But with such a small price, I just think that you just have to flick it in almost always. Like if he'd gone,
you definitely
if he'd
could
gone
not
like
be folding the jack there.
no, if he'd gone like 1.3 or 1.4 million, or gone all in, then it allows Peng the chance to fold. But by going so small, which was essentially only 5 and a bit big blinds, he really just guarantees a call. And if he does get check jammed on, sorry, if he gets jammed on, he can maybe even start thinking about folding it himself with that 550 size. But Peng Dang does live to fight another day, and he's
got about 12 and a half bigs.
He's going to jam from the cutoff with A7 off.
Quickly gets through everyone. We've also got Zach McDonald in the chat. This is a full... The Twitch chat is a WA chat, I can tell you that.
What's everyone doing? Sharing their breakfast with us on Twitch.
Oh, it's afternoon tea here, mate.
It's like 8 a.m.
cup of
in
tea.
WA, right?
Basically. Where did Bert get his shirt from? Might be a question for Bert.
That is one of Bert's hunting shirts. Bert, of course, a lifelong vegan.
Feels like he's going.
Will not catch him. You will not catch him. You will not catch him hunting.
I mean, you will just be at the poker table. Is that? Do you reckon that's what it's symbolic for? Hunting the poker table at the poker table.
He's the only vegan in the world that still eats fish.
They call him a pescatarian. Just eats all the seafood, the whales, the fish. Sometimes the krill, just like Liam.
It's rude. Very rude.
That rude. It's got to be at least the 4th nicest thing I've said to you today. Do you know what I do like? I like this little tennis ball dude. He's got attitude. Bert with the queens. Bert has had the absolute, like, he's been card dead and then had queens, ace, king, queens, and nothing in between. Been pretty easy decisions for Bert. Little tennis ball dude here is telling him to fold, for sure. An aggression frequency of 0% for Christian Harder. Someone after your own heart, Liam.
You talk a lot of smack for someone who plays 4 tournaments a year.
4 interstate tournaments a year, like, please.
Yeah, yeah, and your weekly 12-player sit and goes.
Mate, just wait until I make it over there to Brisbane. You have to listen to me at a table face to face.
I don't often play with earplugs in, but I feel like I might be in the future. King 7 suited for Ping Dang under the gun. He's got to fold.
Excuse me. Ah, the phone's up there.
Sandul is back.
Sandul
kept me company. He kept me company all night. Even when Liam bailed to go to sleep, Sandul stayed with me until 1:30.
Stay with me. Yeah, Sam. Some of those hands Dean posts, I'm like, what is going on? Has Dean just raided a Baccarat farm and turned them into poker players?
You Yanks aren't bad.
I would like to point out that most of the people in his chat have actually played the sit and go. So if you needle the players too hard, you are referring to them.
Yeah, I know. It's fine. They're all giving it to me. Sam just told me he's never seen me with chips.
He was just stating facts, man. What, do you want the poor guy to lie?
Everyone wants a break, we can have a break, right? I guess, I don't know.
Just all you need to do when you go to APL Millions, if you ever want to work out where Liam is, it's the guy moaning in the corner. There's one of the reg at his table. And that how unlucky he is that he doesn't have a table complete full of heads.
Okay with the break? You? Just 10 minutes.
Liam Murray has removed Dean Cox from the group.
Everyone is okay. Okay.
Okay, 10 minutes.
Looks like your backing chat just got quieter then.
Thankfully.
All right, we are going off
guys,
for a break.
That's going to be a short break. Dean and I will see you after the break.
In about 10 minutes.
Hopefully Dean can adjust his attitude. See you in about 15 minutes.
Wait, no, I want to play.
In undergun 2 and then flats this, and it doesn't look like 650 wants to go anywhere from June.
He does. He's going to get out of the way.
He does.
Yeah.
He thought about it. So Sung in the Triton hoodie versus Xiao Shuai.
Oh, and there it is. It doesn't matter what you do, Dean. It always comes. But the interesting thing about this, Ace 10-0, you can't be feeling too good. I mean, all of the
what do you call
Ace Jack, Ace Queen? Yeah, no, as in like when he starts leading this flop, like you're suddenly playing a 40 big blind pot with Ace 10. Like it's going to be very interesting to see how this one progresses.
I agree, but if you're going to call pre-flop in this spot with Ace 10, this has got to be almost as good a flop as you can hope for without absolutely flopping 2 pair.
Yeah, I just mean that you're probably going to you're going to struggle to sustain too much pressure on the turn and river. And I mean, this is a turn card that I don't know. Like, what are we doing? We're betting 80,000 now.
Is Sung trying to now turn his hand into a bluff?
Oh, 28. 28, sorry. I thought it was 80.
So is he... I'm not sure what Sung's trying to get from it now. Is he trying to just eke value out of a very small pair? But
No, I think he's just continuing a bluff that... the turn size...
But he wasn't bluffing.
Just really... Yeah, but the turn size just doesn't achieve anything. An ace isn't folding to 28,000, so I'm very confused.
All right, what does Sung do now?
I can only assume that he
gives up.
Has to. Surely we can't see any more go in the pot as Jack's here.
Yeah, he has checked. And
Yeah.
now, does Xiao Shuai go for value?
I mean, we saw this yesterday. Like any bet, he's going to open the door to get check raised, and he won't be able to call. So I would have much preferred a check back. Yesterday we saw some extremely cool bluffs. I just think Jack's probably just have to let it go here.
Yeah, but what does... I mean, you can't really put him on ace 10 here, but if he does check jam, I mean, Xiao Shuai can't really do too much. But I'm pretty sure he's just...
I can't see a check jam coming. I mean,
no,
considering the hands, Dean, he has raised.
He has raised. Mate, you know nothing,
mate.
hey,
All
man.
right.
Absolutely
Yeah, I know.
nothing.
I know nothing. What is going on? Are we playing reverse poker?
To 250.
You and I? That is gangster. He has absolutely put him in.
And especially when he holds the Jack of Hearts as well.
Yeah. Yeah,
so,
don't
like,
worry about that, Dean. You and I are the only ones watching this hand that are considering those cards. Us and maybe Bert.
Maybe Bert. Oh, look at that ring that's on Bert's finger. Just in the corner of the screen.
Yeah, it's very cool. Oh, there's no way he can call, surely.
What is it? I'm going to disagree, and I'm going to say he's going to call because Liam said that he wasn't. He might even move all in and try and bluff him off a better hand.
Dean, I'll have you know, he's covered by this river bet by Song Yu.
Oh, he is too. Well played. So it might be more all in, but it will just be a call.
Gotcha.
I hope he makes it.
If he makes it, it'll be highlight
Wow,
after highlight, back to back.
We're just gonna be screenshotting everything.
No,
I think he's about to
can't
win it.
call. Can't call. Yeah, let's go. Oh, some sanity has returned.
So, quite expensive for most of us, but for you, that's just a Friday night dinner. But,
Not anymore. We've dropped the caviar off the menu, so we've brought it back down to around the 7K average for dinners these days.
Nice.
Just as you've been well aware of, the crypto market has not been kind to me, so we've had to drop the caviar. But no, yeah. Look, I mean, that's the beauty. That's the beautiful thing about for our professional grinders, the RDPT series does offer plenty of high roller action. So for players like Bert, you might get a 10K once every 3 or 4 months in Australia, and it might be a very small field, but almost at every series throughout Asia, you will find 5K plus buy-in, which definitely makes the journey much more appealing. We do see a 3-bet from the small blind with ace 3 suited to 16.5. What do we think about this one? I think it's potentially a little bit too small in order to get folds. You're probably going to see a call from most hands that are towards the middle or top of range. So you're going to be playing out of position with one of the weaker aces, and I think that is what we're going to see.
Yeah, I would have preferred it to be around the 22 to 25k mark, so 4.5x. Whereas this was closer to, I think this was exactly 3x.
Have we seen a 4-bet? Yeah, it looks like a 4-bet.
We have seen a 4-bet.
And Dean, we've just seen a 5-bet jam.
Snap 5-bet jam.
We're in the streets, my friend.
We are. This is great. I really love this.
Yeah, wow. We're on the highway and there are trucks everywhere. We are dodging and weaving. What do we think about King 9 suited under the gun? I think we're 8-handed at the moment, or maybe even 9. I would probably lean towards a fold here.
I would agree, 9-handed, but I'm not expecting Xuan to fold this, considering that they opened Queen 9-0, so under the gun.
Agree. Song choosing to isolate with Jack 10 suited here, and Bert, I think from the button, probably has a strong enough hand to continue. Is he going to find the 4-bet with the King Jack suited? Because he certainly won't want to be playing this one multi-way. I think he'd rather be heads up. Will we see the 4-bet or will we see the call? Yeah, he does 4-bet.
40,000.
It would not surprise me for this to go fold. Both players
Also
are in
wouldn't
that portion
surprise
of the
me for this
range.
to go 5-bet, 6-bet either. So
both players are in that portion of their range where they really don't want to be playing a 30 big blind pot pre-flop with yeah, I don't know, man. I think I'll just stop talking. Of course he's going to call after I say that.
Sung calls. I mean, look, I think there's a lot more value in calling the Jack 10 suited than there is the King 9. But I would agree that I'd still make the fold. He does get the Queen of Diamonds, which is a very pretty card for Sung. What are we expecting from Bert here?
I think he just has to continue, right? He has to. If my understanding of the situation is as I think it is, Bert will probably expect Song to be peeling too many.
还行，
I think
一般都
I actually my
2分钟打不了一
I think
We are back here at the Red Dragon Prestige High Roll at day 3. Myself and my co-host, friend, and all-round good guy, Liam Murray. Welcome, Liam. Or not, that's fine. Liam's still giving me the silent treatment after I gave him a few little ribbons earlier. That's okay. Shi Shuang facing the raise from under the gun from Pengdong with the 9s. Did he just... Oh no, I thought he let it go for a second. No, he 3-bet to 800k. That was much more to be expected. And
Peng Dang's got to be really careful here, Dean, that he doesn't fall into that, you know. Well, I mean, he can't do anything, right? Like, he's either got to jam or fold.
yeah, and it's just a fold.
Yeah.
Nice of you to join us, Liam. I already did an intro, threw over to you and everything, and then I just got the silent treatment.
I was ignoring you. I wasn't late.
I know, but he does. Pengdong goes 4 bets all in with the ace 10-0.
This is the best spot he could hope for too, by the way.
Definitely.
8 of diamonds,
8-8-3 on the flop.
The turn is the 7 of diamonds.
6 outs.
The river
Once.
is the 5 of spades. We will lose
Rebuy or die in the background there.
27,550,000.
Sometimes it's not your day, and Peng Dang didn't have a lot going his way, unfortunately, for this final table. So he will bow out in 8th. Dean, I'm going to repost those payouts in the Twitch chat.
Sure. Go for it. I'm still interested. Shane said that he might need some coaching after my hosting at the APL Jack, so I have a feeling I might have said something on stream. I'm interested to hear from Shane. If I
wouldn't surprise me at all to know that you've upset someone.
Standard me.
He was short stack.
Alex
Armchair
wanted you
critic.
to... yeah, standard. Not even just armchair critic from the other side of the country where no one can get at.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what Alex is referring to.
He was referring to you putting up with me temporarily in streams when he's had to deal with that for the last 15 years of his life, being one of my close friends.
Yeah, I mean, it is a shock to me that your nose is as straight as it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I think people just aim for the chin and they miss it because of the beard.
I can understand why the beard has been such a prominent feature of your face for such a long time.
I have had people threaten me at the poker table. I end up having one someone have a TD stand behind me because I had 3 people at the table that wanted to take me outside. That was pretty amusing.
For a drink.
Yeah, not for a drink. This was when I was still drinking, which probably explains a lot.
Do any of you guys remember Dean in his drinking days?
There would definitely Alex, Zach, and Sam all experienced drunk Dean.
I can imagine far more annoying than sober Dean. So just for those of you watching our Twitch stream, I'll also post them in our YouTube chat. The payouts, we are down to our last 7 players, and the next payout is 23.4 US. And for our Australian viewers, 33,000 Australian, of course.
All right, so I've got a funny story for you, Liam, of me and Jack of Clubs for
You
life.
funny or everyone else funny?
You will find this quite amusing, all right?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think so. So
Okay.
when Alex and I first met was actually at like an APL game, Free League, back 15 plus years ago, 17 years ago, something like that. And we were just sort of standing behind. I think we probably both busted trying to bluff off our stacks. And there was this one player who had just a deck of cards, and he was just flinging the cards and just hitting whatever he wanted with the cards. Just had this great flicking action. Pang, pang, just hitting chairs. And all the way across on the other side of the bar was an empty pint glass. And this guy says to Alex, bet you $50 I can get this card to hit that glass. Alex is like, you're on, no chance that is happening. The guy goes, all right, bet. He runs over to the other side of the bar and taps a card on it, on the pint glass. I start losing it laughing at Alex, right? Sucked in, you just got done.
You got
Alex like, you think that's funny? Gets his whole pint and pours it over my head. His whole pint and just
That's
tipped
great.
it on top of my head.
Alex is
You
now
think that's
invited to
funny?
the cookout.
Yeah. I knew you would like a story that had me being the sucker.
Shane in the Twitch chat has followed up, Dean.
Mm.
I think your comment was referring to some bet sizing. We'll just quickly focus on this tournament for now, and then Dean can come back to that one. So we had Zhejiang open 9-7 suited and Song Zhu with 3-bet with Ace Queen O, and it does just get folded round, and he does collect the chips pre. Shane, you'll probably have to give Dean a little bit more reference to the hand. If you remember the specifics, Dean will probably remember how he offended you with his commentary.
Appreciate. What about my fold? Did you like my fold?
That was a bad fold. Every other place was perfect except that fold.
It's hard to impress, Mr. Dwayne.
Rebuy or die on the rail, supporting his mate Bert, telling him that he made mistakes in some folds.
Yep. 跳了这么多球。
Little shout out to Rebuy or Die. It's just started a little Instagram series of the life of a high roller. So if anyone's interested in following along, go check it out. It's Dylan Wayne, one of Australia's better players, traveling the world, playing all the high stakes games, and giving a bit of an insight into what his world consists of, and breaking down some hands and explaining why he does certain stuff. I've definitely already enjoyed a couple of the posts that he has done so far. He had a full breakdown of a 5-bet with a 7 that he did. That was very, very good, and explained why I liked it, why I didn't like it, and what happened.
We do see Bert with the 4-bet jam.
Thank you.
Ace Queen suited.
Played that one great too. What's up? What did you say?
Dean, I'd just like to give a shout out to my son, Nash Murray, who's making a mess in our lounge room before he eats his dinner.
小忙都没变。
Nash Murray, of course, the Prince of Australian Poker, surrounded by many, many talented uncles.
有没有一种可能3P 4呢？
真的有可能。
真的有可能
我去，打错了，打错了。娱了娱了，没，怎么我就没有想过推你呢？
就跟你洗嫩了。
这好学不学？昨天想了那么3个小时不说话，就想怎么 PUA 别人。
Win with 60 bigs and ace 9-0 under the gun 1. Considering his options. Soon. Xi Shuang, sorry, has opened the king deuce. Oh no, just limp the king deuce from small blind. Check back from Patrick. They've gone check, 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 both flop and turn. We'll now see if Xi Shuang does lead. Looks like 250k. 1.6 bigs. Patrick with queen high. He's going to be beating some hands. And does make the call. Yeah, I'd have to go back and have a look at the stream, to be honest, Shane, to look over some of those hands. And then can give you a bit more insight as to why I didn't like some of the sizings. Or potentially even just the leads themselves. Xi Shuang opens the ace-4 on the button. Bert in the big blind with 10-5-0 lets it go.
Shane, I'll just quickly jump in with your comment on Twitch. If you're referring to what I think you are, so your opens were to 2.5 big blinds rather than 2. So essentially, if the blinds are 20, 40, 40, you're opening to 100k as opposed to 80k. Is that what I'm referring to, Shane, in our Twitch chat?
Patrick's with 9 on the button. Does click it. And Bert gets out of the road. Win with Jack 3-0 will likely also get out of the road.
I think there's free ones there. Thank you.
So yeah, Shane, if it's around your opening sizes, knowing the jacks are, we start getting fairly short all around. Betting raising to 2.5x is fairly unnecessary, where we can achieve the same outcome with a smaller raise while risking less to win the same amount.
Can I give you
and
a super quick summary of the situation,
go
Dean?
for it, please. Go for it.
So Shane, if the blinds are 20, 40, 40, and we start the hand with 600,000, how many times can we raise to 80,000, and how many times can we raise to 100? So the difference between raising to 80 and 100 can mean that we'll actually be able to raise one extra time, which allows us to be more balanced with our strongest hands and our weakest hands. So by increasing the frequency in number of times we can raise, we actually achieve the same thing. If they're folding to 100, they're also folding to 80. So by just dialing it back slightly from a shorter stack, we will be able to enter the pot more often, which allows us to play more hands, which is probably what Dean was referring to. Dean, is that a summary of what you were saying?
Yeah, very likely. I look at it very similar the way that you do, and also just in especially that last part that you said, if they're folding to 100, they're likely folding to 80. You now actually start risking less. So if they do have a hand that they're going to 3-bet you, rather than you raising to 100 to fold, you raise an 80 fold, and you're actually saving half a big blind there, which makes a significant amount of difference over the long run.
You can, you would rather have a machine gun than a pistol, so more bullets in the chamber is always better.
Says a guy that never has more than 20 bigs, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay, you're patient. You are the pistol. You take your one shot and you make sure it hits. It does hit, right, Liam? Right?
Well, you're the idiot paying markup for my action, mate.
Anyone else that want in on some 1.6 markup that Liam sells at?
You want to talk about downswings? It's because I sell 150% in every buy-in. I'm in cash regardless of how the result happens.
Exactly. Especially when you take 100% of yourself.
I'm going to do that after.
原来他自己点的，点了2大杯，还没喝。
I wonder if Sundul's still around. He was a big Patrick fan and a big Martin fan. Obviously, Martin bubbling the final table. But I'm assuming he's still cheering on his Hungarian boy Patrick here.
Jack 9 suited for Patrick in early position. Going to let it go. Mandarin Man, what does he have? 10-3 suited. Going to peel that right into the bin. Sandul is still there.
He is. Sandul never leaves. Song Shui. What are you gonna do? We don't know. This is the RDPT plus unknown hand. 3-bet.
Mr. Liam Jehu has asked, are sunglasses back? They well and truly seem to be back.
扫到 AA 为止。
That is what I was referring to, Sam. Unfortunately, we are not sponsored by Jack Links, so I didn't give him a shout out.
How good's beef jerky?
Also,
Butt?
I'm a beef jerky fan, but I don't actually like Jack Links ones. Ugh. I'm more of a biltong fan.
Hey.
Like, I want that spice from the South Africans, you know?
How are you going to get sponsored by Jack Links if you tell them that you don't like it?
I don't want to get sponsored by them.
Jack Links,
Give me...
I'll take the sponsorship. And so will my son. He's a menace for jerky.
Yeah.
Bert Perry, sevens from early position. Off about 30 bigs. Definitely going to be good enough to enter. Haven't seen a lot from Christian Harder just yet. We have seen a couple of 3-bet opportunities get met with 4 bets, which is going to happen. Ace 9-0 in the big blind, going to come along. Our chip leader with all the chips, about 100 bigs. Start the hand. Ace 10-6. Imagine we'll see a bet from Bert here. And our big blind will come along. No reason to raise at the moment. Oh. That is a very, very big turn card. Bert is going to increase the price of poker against the chip leader for sure. What size do you like, Dean? Do you want to go somewhere about 500 or do you want to go somewhere smaller?
I go bigger. I go more like
about
650,
650, I think.
It is. Bert Perry is, as we more reference him to, as Jennifer Castle's boyfriend. HD Lapel. Believe she taught him everything she knows.
Everything but an 8 on the river. The 5 is not going to be it.
And it doesn't really change too much, the 5 either.
No. Bert has to go big, surely.
Mm-hmm. He's got about... What's that, about 1.3?
SPR, yeah.
1.2? 1.3? 1.25? Somewhere around that. Could elect to go all in. And there would be some hands that are bluffing that will do this as well. I would like to think King Queen, King Jack, and Jack Queen, all of hearts, like to do these sizings where they seed bet with the range advantage, they turn some more equity, they go about 50%, they now end up on a river that, again, someone that's called 50%, so is going to be reasonably strong, but didn't 3-bet and is capped. Does want to continue
on 1.2?
Yeah, so it looks like it's gone a little bit, about 40%.
2.2, sorry.
2.2, okay. So yeah, basically, what's that, 95% pot? I think it was 2.3. Slide out those time bank cards from under the little tennis ball man.
Chip leader has a pure bluff catcher, right?
Yep.
And I personally, I don't know if I want to give Bert Perry another 2.2 million chips with this weaker hand. if I get bluffed, I get bluffed, but I don't want to give Bert 2 million for nothing.
Yeah. I agree with that. However, to be fair, that is a lot of people at this table. I wouldn't really want to be doing that. It's a little bit different where you can probably edge pass a lot more on some other tables where there's only one or two good players. But when there's lots, sometimes you have to find those edges. But he's definitely putting this exact type of hand under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, nice hand from the big blind with ace-9 there, getting away from it.
Love the way they played that.
He does. Yeah, he manages to keep his chip lead there as well, which is something that's, I wouldn't say overlooked, but it's pretty important.
Well, like Queen Jack of clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Rano Sutla with just 10 bigs.
Not to me.
He was the loser against Bert's
Kings, pocket kings.
Queen's ace-king flip. Just to run through those payouts again, guys, for our Australian viewers, these players are playing off for 264,000 AUD. Second, 172. Third, 116. Fourth, 80,000. Fifth, 57.5. And sixth, 42.8. Seventh, 33,000. Rano is going to jam from the button with King 9-0. He just has 11.5 bigs. Patrick Demus, I think that's probably enough to call.
Yeah, I think so, especially off this stack size.
Yeah. He won't love it, but he knows that Rano's going to be jamming worse hands than ace high.
Most definitely.
Pretty standard.
11 bigs there.
Off to the flop we go. Rano needing to find a 9 or a king to take the lead.
Let's see the flop.
There is
He does
the king.
do that. Patrick finds a 4 though, so he could improve to trip 4s. It's going to be a hard one for him to win. Rano turns a flush draw as well.
Any non-diamond ace or 4.
Six of spades.
6 is not going to be it.
That was very brave of turn.
7.
He will double back to 3.3 million, which is good for 22 bigs.
Mm-hmm. Still the shortest, despite that full double.
If you are joining us in the Twitch or YouTube stream or Facebook, give us a yell in the comments. It's always lovely to hear from our friends and new friends. 8-9 suited for Song Zhu. Sandul asking in the Twitch chat, who is Jennifer Castle? Jennifer Castle is one of the most successful Australian female professionals. Bert Perry, of course, one of Australia's best professionals, and Jen was, well, she was always a talented poker player, but she absolutely has spread her wings and is now a feared opponent, male and female alike. An absolute legend as well. So she is loved by the Australian community and the international community, and feared by many of us as well. So she has her very own poker resume that is well decorated. And the joke is that she is no longer Bert Perry's girlfriend. Bert Perry is her boyfriend. So is that Jennifer Castle's boyfriend? Is what we often hear.
I actually thought for a second when you said it's no longer is that Bert Perry's girlfriend, I actually thought you were about to drop some like news bomb that it was a fiance or something like that you were just going to completely out
No, I would not do that.
A level up of the. I know you wouldn't, but that's what came into my head.
Song Zhu will turn the straight. Unfortunately, his opponent with just pocket fours, very irrelevant pair to the board. River now a queen. Song Zhu, I imagine will need to bet small here to try and eke out some value, but he's not going to get any kind of customer in the pocket fours. Guys, I have a feeling that we will be joined by our great friend Corey Van Jaarsveld very shortly, and I'll duck out for a couple of hours. It is dinner time in my household, and the zoo needs its keepers. Referring to, of course, my toddler, who will throw most of his dinner on the floor and eat some of it. So that's the important thing.
How good is food wastage by kids?
Oh, if I see another strawberry on the floor, I will.
Billion one is.
Yeah, I'll.
Is that even possible?
Continue buying strawberries because that kid is.
Every event,
he's living a good life.
sure
Elizabeth
is.
Kelly in the Facebook chat confirming that Jen Castle is a gem. She is an absolute saint. A huge addition to Bert's life, and I'm sure he would be the first to say as much. And no doubt for Elizabeth, a welcome addition to her family as well. Noel Star in the YouTube chat has given us a yell as I asked for, and that's all he's given us. Rano Sutler with pocket tens against the early position open. I imagine this will be a jam. All but
No,
jamming.
it is not. it's about half of his stack. He's gone to 12 bigs,
His intention
leaving 10
is,
bigs behind.
His intention is clear, that's for sure.
Oh, definitely. And do you want to explain to everyone why he's doing this?
So, if, for example, Rano's 3-bet to 1.8 million was facing a jam and a call, he would maybe be able to get away from this. So he's leaving himself with enough chips. If, for example, there was significant action behind, he would have some chips remaining. It's not always the case. Sometimes we do something like this with our very strongest hands as well, so aces and kings, to make it look like we are potentially folding facing a jam. But in this specific instance, pocket tens, well, it's one of those hands that he maybe can get away from. Also targeting what he perceives to be potentially a light open and maximum punishment.
That is Dylan Wayne and Jordan Bromley in the background.
Yes. Bert going to open Queen Jack from the cutoff.
You like that one? Troy says hi, by the way, Christian. Remember my mate Troy from the link?
I was looking at our videos from the wedding.
Bro.
Yesterday. Where is it?
It was a wild party. We ended up in the back of a party. Were you in that party bus on the way home? Yeah, that's right.
King Queen suited for our chip leader.
That was a lot of fun. Oh, you have videos from that? I'd love to see them.
Yeah, there's not. Yeah, I was trying to find ones with you. It's like hard to see.
I was blind. I was pretty drunk. Troy couldn't even communicate. He was so wasted.
They're definitely talking about Troy McLean here, right? There is like 0% chance it's anyone else.
There's only one Troy.
And if I do remember, both Bert and him were at a wedding in Vegas. I think I saw some stuff on socials when they were over there. When Troy went on one of the most cooler runs of all time, just could not win an all-in to save his life, no matter how far in front he was. He went full Liam, as some like to call it.
Don't put my name in the same sentence, please. Don't wish my luck on anyone.
I wasn't wishing, I was just saying he experienced it. I think those two gents in the background would be very, very dangerous in a Korean singing competition. Bit of karaoke. It would be very, very dangerous with both Bromley and
it would actually be pretty great if they
Dylan.
recorded this thing dancing, and then
Yes.
a separate
Yes,
clip
it would
of you
be.
taking their head off, and it's you underneath.
We do see King Queen defend against the 3-bet. 9-3-3 on the flop. Neither player connecting too much.
But Win did get slow rolled by the deck just then, right? When you've got Jack 10 of hearts here, and the 9's a window as it slides out, the 9 of hearts, you're thinking that flop could be anything, and then 3-3 comes out with not even another heart. The deck just wants to slow roll you sometimes, you know.
Yeah, that's true. I imagine that most decks want to slow roll you, like everyone playing with you.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to see a call from the King High. And backdoor spades. Turn is now the 6 of hearts. So Jack 10 of hearts, backdoor flush draw now. If the under the gun player checks, do we want to try and
So
realise
are you
some of
thinking-
our equity with the flush draw? Or
That's
do we
what I
want
was
to
literally
continue
about to
telling
ask
the
you.
story?
I think we continue telling the story, but
Yeah.
it does kind of suck that you're up against the overwhelming chip lead that has 2x your stack in this spot. But it with a hand like Jack 10 especially, where
Wow, he's
you
gone
know
big,
you're not winning at the
2.1.
moment. 2.1. 66%
I like it.
turn bet. Love it. Absolutely love it.
We often talk about if you're bluffing, you want to be telling a convincing story. If he did have jacks or tens, this is the kind of line that he would take. I really like that size from him here. The other thing, he's attacking the chip leader, who, yeah, I mean, what's he going to do? Like, he can't do much against a 2.1. He can't continue with the weaker portion of his range.
Nope.
Very nice hand from both of them there.
I'm inspired by your...
As Mandarin Man
Amin Riazadi.
kicks it up,
I think that one's going to go on the vlog. For
I
anyone
am
who's
going to duck out for a dinner break.
All right, Liam.
Incredible.
Go look after
With
the zoo.
my friend Corey Van Jay joining Dean for probably the next couple of hours, and then I'll tag Dean out until until later in the evening. Dean, I'll leave it with you. Corey will jump in, and
Thanks, mate.
I look forward to speaking with you later on.
Sounds good. Enjoy your dinner.
Thank you, guys. Enjoy your evening. Speak to you later on.
All right, let's pick up this hand while we wait for Corey to join us. Bert with the jacks under the gun 1.
Dean, I've got to say, I've got some miraculous timing here. I've stepped into the booth just in time to see the sexiest boy pick up the sexy boys. Bert with the pocket jacks here.
I was about to say, Jordan doesn't have any cards in front of him.
He is also looking quite marvellous on the rail there. Dylan not looking too
Did
bad
you
himself.
do it again, Corey? You just did it again.
What about... What? Huh?
Look what you've done.
Oh yeah, I see. I mean, we've not seen a flop yet. But Bert is looking to be in a bit of trouble here. He's up against a chip leader that could be 3-betting him pretty aggressively. And he has a hand that is pretty darn strong. With the ICM implications here, wouldn't shock me to see him just play this as a call. Looks like that's how we are going to start things off. To a flop we go, and Bert's going to need to find a red jack, or he could be in some big trouble. None of those are red jacks.
They are not. But there are 2 spades. We do get an extra little tiny bit. Looks like 700,000 as a continuation bet.
Probably have to peel one street with the jacks here, but Bert is going to be feeling a little bit worried. 700k is probably about as many chips as he's willing to put into this pot. 4 million in there. This has gotten bloated quickly. Spade on the turn. Breathes some life into the pocket jacks, but it also means it could get more expensive. The question is, will Shishan continue the aggression on the turn here, or Will he exercise a little bit of pot control himself? He does have queens with no spade.
He does exercise some pot control and also just a little bit of balance as well. Might make Bert feel a bit more comfortable about his hand when he is actually behind. I am expecting Bert to check this one back just because of exactly all the reasons you gave of why he flattered on the pre-flop.
Sisyoung might have been a little bit concerned about those aces on board a moment ago, but any concern will be quickly washed away. Queen's full on the river here. This is another overcard to Bert's jacks. Might be just what he needs to get away from this without losing any more chips, preserving the 4.3 million that he has in front of him.
That looks like a healthy bet of like 2.5 million if I was to have a guess, maybe more. I'd say 2.8 million, 2.7 million.
That's a big bet. This is just designed to target an ace. You're hoping that your opponent has checked back the trips on the turn, and we're trying to bet as big as possible without getting them out. Yeah, Bert. He's been here before.
Well played, Bert. Yep. Yeah, you go from hoping your opponent doesn't have an ace to hoping your opponent does have an ace with that river, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Could have been a disastrous situation there for Bert. Jacks versus Queens pre-flop is often going to get you knocked out of tournaments, so Bert's done a really good job to preserve almost a 30 big blind stack coming out the other side of that.
Definitely. But that's why he's here, right? That's why he's on the final table, because of that ability to dodge and weave at the right times. I'll throw over to you, Corey, to answer this YouTube question. Why does Bert Perry have so much aura in his fit?
You probably need to be born with it to get to this
Maybe
level.
It's Maybelline?
That's probably the answer. Pretty good flop for the 8-7 here. Top pair plus gut shot. Checked over to Christian. 2 overcards. Backdoor nut flush draw. Some backdoor straight draws. Here's a board that you would expect the big blind to have a decent amount of interaction with, though. We have a bit of showdown value, and Christian's going to just go ahead and check this one back. Doesn't want to bloat the pot too much. Plenty of runouts where he can just continue checking this ace high to showdown and expect to win sometimes. But up against the top pair, checking to showdown is not going to be on the menu this hand. We do see a call with the ace high, and on this king of spades, the pair of eights is still in the lead, but it might not be the easiest top pair to get to showdown.
probably not much reason to continue betting for Patrick here.